Is there anybody better in world football right now than Thierry Henry?
You begin to wonder if there's anything this fella can't do. He is an absolute one-man attack, isn't he?
They've got the most effective forward that there's been in British football as long as I can remember.
You know, a little bit like the kid in the playground, the centre forward in the playground who runs past everyone and scores goals. Henry's doing this in the Premiership at just an unbelievable level.
Your missus is watching the Premier League because of Thierry Henry.
The Premier League is home to some of the greatest players to ever grace the football pitch, from all corners of the world. But there is a king that stands above all, a Frenchman named Thierry Henry. Few players in football history has embodied the essence of a league like Thierry Henry has for the Premier League. From his electrifying performance to his charismatic presence, Henry's contributions transcends his statistics, earning him a place as one of the greatest players in English football. The king's journey began in humble surroundings, shaped by his upbringing in Les Ulis, a suburb in Paris. As a kid, he showed great potential, but for how good he was, he never felt enough to his father. Henry's complicated relationship with his father is a focus throughout the interview, which is a great interview and gives you an idea on how the relationship was. His father was not an easy man to please. Henry tells a story when he was 15 years old, he scored 6 goals in a victory. But on the drive back home, with his father, there was no congratulations. Instead, he was criticized for all the things he did not do right. The most difficult thing for me to do as a man and as a player was to please my father, even as he won the plaudits, trophies, and the absolute admirer of the fans. At the back of his mind, it was always what he didn't do. Henry denotes that the athlete had developed from his childhood, but the human being was missing. Henry said that he spent his childhood trying to please his father, comparing it to wearing a cape. At age 13, Thierry Henry left home to join the prestigious Clairefontaine Football Academy, known for its highly competitive selection process. Out of around 1,000 young hopefuls, only 23 were chosen after the intense trials had over a 4-weekend period. Life at Clairefontaine was anything but normal for a teenager. Players were constantly competing, not just for their future, but against each other, creating a high-pressure environment. The challenges were overwhelming, leaving little room for a typical childhood. In 1990, Monaco sent scouts to watch Henry, when at the age of 13, in a match, Henry scored all 6 goals as his team won 6-0. They asked him to join Monaco without even attending a trial first. Henry, who made his first team debut for Monaco at 17, possessed a wealth of experience and a taste for success. In 1996, he was voted for French Young Player of the Year. He won the French League title with Monaco the following year, reached the Champions League semi-finals with them in 1998, and played in France's World Cup winning side later that year. The coach at the time was so impressed with Henry that he took him to the 1998 World Cup. Although Henry was a largely unknown quantity at international level, he ended the tournament as France's top scorer with 3 goals. He was scheduled to appear as a substitute in the final, where France beat Brazil 3-0, but Desailly sending off forced a defensive change instead. Henry left Monaco in January 1999 and moved to Juventus for £10.5 million. He played on the wing as well as wing back, but he was ineffective as a goal scorer, struggling in Serie A, only registering 3 goals in 16 appearances. Henry's 6-month spell with Juventus was an unforgettable chapter in the Frenchman's historic career. But why did things didn't click in Turin? He played like 10 games for Juventus, a lot of them as wingback. This was during Ancelotti's 1-year period at Juventus. It was a bad fit and he didn't really have the opportunity to play in his desired position as an out-and-out left winger. Henry's off-field relationship with the club director Luciano Monchi also contributed to his struggles. In later interviews, Henry revealed that disagreements with Monchi played a significant role in his departure. The details of these conflicts remain vague. Unsettled in Italy, Henry transferred from Juventus to Arsenal for an estimate fee of £11 million under Arsene Wenger. Thierry Henry's debut season at Arsenal in 1999 to 2000 marked the beginning of a brilliant journey for the French forward. Signed for £11 million as a replacement for Nicolas Anelka, his arrival wasn't without doubt. Anelka was the hottest property in football at the time, a strong, pacey, gifted teenager who burst onto the scene. Nicolas Anelka was projected to be the man who could lead the line and turn France into the dominant football nation during the 2000s. This guy was truly a generational talent. Unfortunately, having generational talent does not mean you go on to have a generational career, but that's a story for another time. Henry had big shoes to fill. To really understand the pressures that Henry had, I went to go to see what the Arsenal subreddit had to say about the reaction of the Thierry Henry signing. My dad said on his debut, the away fans were chanting, "What a waste of money." And to be honest, Dad thought they might be right. The truth is, as an Arsenal fan, I was still devastated that Anelka had left for Real Madrid. Henry was the replacement that may or may not have been a good player, but certainly no Anelka. We knew he had won the World Cup, but the consensus was that he had not been a great success in Italy. And there wasn't a huge amount of hype, as his time at Juventus wasn't amazing and dull. Quite a bit of fanfare around his time in France. As you can see, people were skeptical. Replacing a world beater for a failed Frenchman, people were worried. And at first, they were right. Henry was immediately molded into a striker by Wenger, a move that would pay rich dividends in the years to come. However, doubts were raised about his ability to adapt to the quick and physical English game when he failed to score in his first 8 games. After several difficult months in England, Henry even conceded that he had to be retaught everything about the art of striking. Thierry Henry's 8-year tenure at Arsenal cemented his legacy as one of football's best players. Signed by Arsene Wenger in 1999 as a striker, Henry overcame early struggles to become the club's all-time leading goal scorer with 228 goals in all competition. His achievement includes 2 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and most notably, Henry was instrumental in Arsenal's historic Invincible season, when the team went unbeaten in the league. By the 2000-2001 season, Henry had become Arsenal's key player, finishing as the club top scorer. His consistent goal threat and creativity helped Arsenal compete at the highest level. Although silverware wasn't there, that changed in the 2001-2002 season, where Henry inspired Arsenal to a Premier League and FA Cup double, scoring 32 goals across all competition. The pinnacle of Henry Arsenal's career came during the 2003-2004 Invincible season. Arsenal went the entire Premier League campaign unbeaten, a feat unmatched in modern football. Henry's 30 league goals were pivotal to this historic achievement, earning him the European Golden Shoe and the PFA Player of the Year award. In the 2002-2003 season, Henry got 20 goals and 20 assists, the only player in Premier League history to do so. Pace, scoring ability, vision, strength, composure, passion. Henry had all of it. He was the most dangerous forward I've ever seen play the game. The guy could run by you in a flash, he could dribble you, he could score with his head, his feet, from 6 yards out, from 10, from 25, it didn't matter. Henry in his prime would terrorize every defender he came across. You heard many players say that they gave up when they knew it was Thierry Henry that they were playing against.
One player that you were frightened of?
Henry. He was the best by far, and he had everything. His movement, he was like the silent assassin, wasn't he? He could score with his head, go short, go in behind, right and left foot. He was incredible. But literally the night before games, he would be the one player in my career that I thought, gonna be a tough day tomorrow. And you'd wake up. No one had that effect on me at all but him.
See, when you see the long sleeves on the Arsenal shirt, you know right then straight away who you're coming up against, and you know it's that time you've got to focus in, because this guy is to end careers, man, in the Premier League.
Henry changed English football. You could split the Premier League in 2 eras, before Thierry and after Thierry. Before Henry, under no circumstance could you have included the Premier League in any discussion of the world's best league. After him, under no circumstance can you leave it out. Henry wasn't solely responsible for the transformation, but he was the league's outstanding player throughout its defining period. Not simply its top scorer, but the most prolific creator, its biggest talent, and most skilled entertainer. Most of the names on the independent top 100 list can describe the greatest footballers. Henry, by contrast, was at least 3 great footballers in one: a striker, a winger, a playmaker. He molded English football in its own image, snapping it out of its gritty structure and helped to forge something completely new. Between around 1998 and 2004, Arsenal under Arsene Wenger played the sort of football never seen before on English pitches, tactically, aesthetically, and athletically. Henry was the heart, a pure creator, even as he laid the rest of the league to destruction. Thierry Henry redefined what foreign players could achieve in the Premier League. Henry showcased that overseas talent could adapt, excel, and dominate England's physical, demanding, and fast-paced football. His success paved the way for more international stars to view the Premier League as a destination for career growth and global recognition. All beautiful stories have to come to an end. On June 25, 2007, Thierry Henry moved to Barcelona for £24 million. He cited the departure of David Dine and the uncertainty over Arsene Wenger's future as reasons for leaving. Henry acknowledged that his presence at Arsenal might have hindered the team's growth, as players often prioritize him in play. He left as Arsenal's top scorer in the league and European competition. In 2008, fans voted him as Arsenal's greatest ever player. Wearing his iconic number 14, Henry scored his first goal for Barcelona in a Champions League win against Lyon, and recorded a hat-trick shortly after. Despite these early highlights, he faced challenges adapting to a new role on the left wing. Henry ended his first season as the club's top scorer with 19 goals and 9 assists, but admitted to missing England and expressed frustration with his form, sparking rumors of a potential return to the Premier League. Henry's second season marked a turnaround as he embraced his role on the wing in Pep Guardiola's system, forming a deadly trio with Lionel Messi and Samuel Eto'o. Henry contributed 26 goals and 10 assists, helping Barcelona win a treble, La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. The trio's 100 goals across all competitions shattered records, solidifying their place as one of the most prolific attacking partnerships in history. Henry continued to play a significant role as Barcelona won 6 trophies that season in 2009. By the 09-010 season, Henry's role diminished due to the emergence of Pedro. He started only 15 league games and contributed fewer goals. Recognizing the shift in his role, Henry left Barcelona in 2010, ending his time in Spain with a full trophy cabinet. Father time was coming to one of the greatest players in the world. In 2010, Thierry Henry joined New York Red Bulls in Major League Soccer, marking the next chapter in his career. He quickly became a key player, helping the team reach the playoffs and mentoring young teammates. Over 4.5 seasons, Henry scored 52 goals and provided 42 assists, establishing himself as one of the league's greatest imports. But Thierry Henry got an opportunity of a lifetime. There was a striker emergency with Gervinho and Chamak, who were both unavailable due to the 2012 African Cup of Nations. Arsenal brought him back for a 6-month loan deal, and his debut was pure magic. Wearing the Arsenal colours one more time, Henry came off the bench and scored a trademark finish. He received a perfect time through ball from Alex Song, controlled it with one touch, and calmly curled the ball past the goalkeeper into the far corner. The Emirates Stadium erupted, celebrating not just a goal, but the return of their legend. It was beautiful and an emotional reminder of Henry's unmatched class. Henry hanged his boots up in 2014 and retired as the greatest player to ever grace the Premier League, Thierry Henry, the king of English football. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, and click that bell to never miss a video. And I'll see you in the next one.